people in here. JIOV re-ups for 28 months in Tom's Army. Let's rock and roll. I love that. Thank you so much. And that badge you have is from 24 months and on. Crypto, did something just break in the traditional financial system, causing both gold and Bitcoin to surge higher on a Sunday night? Well, I'll show you, Bitcoin broke out of its broadening wedge right now. And gold, for the first time on Friday, closed over 2,000 an ounce. And with a closing over 2,070, we've talked about a lot here about the unexpected rally that was going to happen in precious metals and Bitcoin. We have a target right now of, I believe it's just about 42,006 something. We'll take a look at all this. But thank you everybody for tuning in. I think it said there was like 20 people or 25 people in here when it first started. That's incredible. Please make sure that like button is that it'll help push us through the algorithm and push this beautiful community through the analytics. Allow more people to reach us, and we'll be able to have a more active discussion, although it's going to be very, very active today, I can tell. Mr. Mack, welcome in with the 2-year badge as well. Brad Jones, good evening. Mel, welcome in, love. Thank you so much for tuning in. Oh, I've got good news. XRP's making its way right now, making a beautiful surge right now. Brian, welcome in. Matt, Miss Vicky, welcome in, love. Jorge, good evening. Joshua and Matt Holden, good evening. Brody, thank you so much for the $10 donation. That is very generous of you. Thank you so much. Wow, we had somebody re-up for 28 months and a $10 donation right out the gate. That's impressive. David, welcome in. Good evening. What's good is I'm here with all my friends right now, and I can see it because I can see the names in here. John Patak, good evening. Tom, welcome in, my fellow Tom. Bobby Ferguson, good evening. Raphael Williams, juicy indeed. Hector, good evening. Trading with J-Ride. Oh, what's good, you ask? We went to 4-0 in the football team I coach, so we're off. We got one more game in the regular season next week, and then it's off to the playoffs on my birthday, December 17th. So I'm feeling really good about this team. We got a better than not. I'd say we're the odds-on favorite to win the championship as of right now. We're the number 1 seed. Just like Michigan. George, welcome in. Michael Voltage. Good evening, Michael. Hope you've been blessed lately. I'm so glad to see that name in here. I hope everything's been blessed on your end. Brian, good evening. Let me buy 2 Bitcoin at 18K. Oh, I know the feeling, Brian. Well, I have a supportive one, but I can understand. Trust me, I can. Let me do timestamp. This is just a second as well. Poppy, welcome in. Tom, Lions and Wolverines Weekend sure was. Franco, Eddie, Love, Sunbay, Hector, John, CJ2 Pilot, good evening. David, welcome in. Joshua, Rich Martinez. Wow, we have a lively crowd tonight. Lively crowd. It's a good crowd in here. We are here, Joshua. We are here. Aaron, good evening. The Gap Man is in the house. I believe that's what it said. So good evening. 9:42 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Sunday, December 3rd, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan, the home of the 3-time defending Big Ten champions. So we'll see what happens. But we don't got time for college football. I don't like to talk sports here. Just yada, yada, yada. David, good evening. Timothy, welcome in. Devin in the house, welcome. Somberg now up 20% in the last 5 minutes. Holy schmagolies. And as we can see, we talked about, there was another one we had talked about, and I kept saying how I wish I could buy it. It'd be my number 1, but unfortunately where I live, they make it hard for IOTA. IOTA jumped out, and we talked about how it had, and I said it would seem crazy when I said it, 127% move roughly, and it filled the entire thing out. Look how quick it did that. We've talked about how long of a descending structure this was in, and once it broke out, it had to come all the way back up there. That's the similar thing as Algo right now as well. Algo is the same thing. It looks like once it bounces off here, you're going to get a bit. Remember, we talked about the several 100% move in Algo. And eventually, it's going to come up here to this 2758. Does it have the room to do it now? With Bitcoin doing what it's doing, maybe IOTA front ran a little bit of an alt season here because it's up better than IOTA's up a couple 100% here almost. But let me go back to XRP. I'm getting excited. XRP at 6301. We've got good evening, Charlotte. Welcome in, love. Tom, I haven't been on in a while. Hope all is well with you and yours. Everything's going pretty good. I can't complain. Just the daily grind, just the daily stuff, but nothing different than before. So for that, I'm blessed. XRP in the daily, we closed. We had a nice inverted hammer candle here. Looks like we're starting off hot here again. We had a few successful things. We talked this morning before my football game. We talked about how we needed to come back down here and validate that 20-day, which is exactly what we did in the 3 hour. We rode off it. Now we bounced out. 2 hourly, we did everything and more that I wanted it to do. The only thing it could have done is it can always overextend down to the 200 at 6157, but it came awfully close and we rode the 20 in the 2 hour and the 3 hour on these golden cross. It did exactly what we wanted. Now, in the daily time frame here, we're going to want to close over 626 now. Ultimately, we want a real close over 648. So mark that. You want to close now over 626, and that would get you out of the falling channel in a daily time frame. And then you would like to close over the 668 to get us out, or 648 to get us out of this region. And then you have the 75-cent resistance here. But ultimately, I think we're working on a cup and handle. Even if you just want to go back to July, that's a cup and handle up at 93 cents. And ultimately, we're trying to work through a pattern. Stick with me for a second, then I'll get back to the questions, or the comments. We're working on a pattern that started all the way back here. This was back in January of 2018. Resistance here, support back in 20, support back again in 2020. After they announced the lawsuit, came back up to a mini bull market, and a resistance here at $1.98. Remember the all-time highs back in 2018. Hit again on the uptrend in 22. Hit again on the uptrend in 23, and this pattern's converging. And now it's a matter of where do you break out or do you break down? Right now, I'm looking at the year of end. It looks likely that we could come up to 85 cents and try to either get rejected there or break over the top. And if that's the case, after a pattern that's been built up that long, in time, it should move to about $2.10. But you have to have multiple layers of confirmation. The biggest one would be if you get over here, you need to get above $1.13 and hold that, and then you should be off to the races. At least into that $1.35 to $1.40, all the way up to $1.65 range. So yeah, there's a lot to talk about. We need to pay attention mostly to Bitcoin right now, too. CJ2 Pilot, thank you so much for the $10 donation. That is incredibly generous. Before we look at Bitcoin, take a look at XLM, because it's back on top of that 12 cents, and that's critical right now. Critical. CJ2 Pilot, $9.99 to beat Alabama. Well, you know, if you want to be the best, you've got to be the best, and there's no doubt about the fact that Nick Saban's been the best college football coach. Alabama's been the best college football team for the better part of, 12 to 14 years now. So if you want to beat them, maybe not 12, but it's been a good decade. I know Georgia won the last two, but I'm just saying. But I would love to see Michigan do that. But anyhow, Auburn fans, so it's your fault why Michigan is playing Alabama, because they couldn't close the deal against Alabama. No, I'm kidding. But with XLM, we bounce on this 12 cents. The technical move up and the technical breakout for XLM. Yes, we need to get above this uptrending resistance at 12.6, but the first layer of support to hold was above 12 cents, and you could get hot. And the technical breakout is the 15-1. I'm telling you, if Bitcoin finishes this, and it has, it's supporting this entire market. Look at this. I'm going to show you the entirety of this broadening wedge. Is this any secret to anybody here? I don't think this is a secret to this community. I think we've been watching this for a long time. Please make sure to hit that like button. We have 65 likes. We have 112 people in here. I'll be damned. You know, I don't know. I'm actually surprised we have that many people going up against Monday night or Sunday night football. It's a weekend. I'm sure nobody really wants to watch, you know, and you want to enjoy the rest of your weekend before the grind starts on Monday for most of you. Starts for me, but my grind never ends since I do this 24/7, 7 days. ATK, I did not want to bring you up until I seen you in the comments, because I actually read a comment from you earlier, and I heard that you put down that you're in a car accident, and holy smokes when I was reading through that. I actually read it when I got back home not too long ago from the games I was at, because I had to coach a football game. And I'm just glad you're okay. It definitely sounded like God had his grace over you. The angels definitely had your guidance. They were guiding you big time. So amen. Like, God bless you. And I'm so glad you're okay. Like, that's crazy. 5 staples and some bruising. God is good. We should all. But yeah, that is incredible. That you. Wow. I'm just so happy you're okay. Amen, Miss Vicky. Amen. No, seriously, that's incredible when you feel the touch of when you feel the hand of God, you know it. You know when it's happened. I believe we all reach that if we have the fortune and or misfortune, because it usually comes in a very traumatic time during a very quick and tragic event. Typically, when you feel that guiding hand, I mean, nothing can. I'm telling you, I felt that when I was 23, and it's like, why? I know now why. Because we weren't ready. Our time wasn't done. Oh, I felt it as soon as I read you. So it's a crazy thing. That's why I always say, don't forget to give thanks to your Lord and Savior. And some people get offended, but there's telling you there's a power of it's okay not to know everything. It's okay to understand that we couldn't have just started from, let's just it's the message of love. That's why I always say love and unity. You never know what's going to happen next. I certainly know ATK didn't know he was going to go down a massive cliff like that. We just don't know. I'm just blessed that he's here, though, and everybody's made it out. It sure is. It sure is, CJ2 Pilot. That's why, like, when I'm on the air, if I get a call from my mom or dad, I always take the call because I know one day I'm 40 and, 14 days I'll be 40. Not next Sunday, the Sunday after. My dad next Sunday turns 65. So, and then the Sunday after I turn 40. So, time goes quick. But the cool thing is being in here together. You know why? We get to talk, we get to embrace, we get to figure it out. And at least if we're looking from a chart perspective, let's reel this in. You guys keep your conversation going in there. I just want to continue this while you guys talk. But we are in a massive broadening wedge. Massive. Now, if you were to get rejected and were to come back through, the first thing is you probably come back down here, and likely, if you lose this support, it would have been here. But the chances are, if this was a rejection here, and you would have got rejected, you probably would have come all the way back down. Typically, that's how a broadening wedge works. However, we broke through this, and after we broke this smaller broadening wedge, we knew the technical target was to get up here to 42,663. Obviously, it was conditional because we had to get over this once we found out that broadening wedge had expanded, and it was much bigger now. But now that we're on the top side, if we break over this, it's not just 42,663. The actual target, if you can hold that 42,663, if you use this massive wedge, I mean, if you talk about them, I mean, some people would use it from here, some people would use it from here. But because I've already used that one part, I'm just going to use this as a continuation, the base of the wedge. So let's just say we get on top of here. We'll just use that as a continuation. Let's just say it rides up here. It's going to bring you somewhere up here. It doesn't even matter. If you say it's like this, it's going to get you somewhere near there. But once you get on top of and hold 42,663, I'm targeting 47,000. And it could even go farther, but right now we've still got some room here. We've still got about 2,000 points. Remember last week, end of the week, I said, what are we going to do? Because Bitcoin, something just didn't feel right. And we talked about it in the charts. And now we need to see. It looks like crypto is ready to go. It looks like XRP, XLM. I mean, look at gold. Gold, it got off to a hot start. It was at it's still on a hot start to start the week. It's at 2,086. We've got the US dollar, though, which is what I'm really interested in. If the dollar, and it looks like it's first signs here. We're in the daily here. Look at this reversal candle here. If this is a reversal back down, that's the death cross there. The next drop down here for the DXY, I mean, you could have a big drop down to 97 at some point here. It's getting close. Yeah, isn't that funny how that works? And obviously in the truest meaning of the word, but you're looking for a job, you have a tragic event like this, and then you get your job. I mean, I'm going to like this cannabis for each and every one of us just because life is a crazy, crazy ordeal. How about that? H-bar. Let's see if everything else is on the same track. You see all the golden crosses happening, everybody? And for anybody who doesn't know what a golden cross is, don't feel bad. I'm going to tell you right now. So if you're using the exponential moving averages, which is the EMA lines, which is what I like to use, the moving averages to see where the technical traders hide out. So the 20 is this red line, the 50, the 100 is this light blue or green, light blue, whatever you want to call it. And then the dark blue is the 200. So the 20 went through the orange, light blue, dark blue, or orange, green, blue. But once it goes through the 200, that's considered a golden cross. That's a trend reversal. And the fact that this isn't in the 1 hour or the 2 hour, the 4, it's in the daily. Now we're being supported on the 20 day. If that happens in these, now look at H bar. This should allow it to bounce up here and then get the proper consolidation at 677. And if that happens, this should be coming up in time to 8485. And it's about time. And I know everybody who bought the 10,000 tokens with us during FOMO Fridays, part of this channel, we were buying it at around 5.2 all the way down to 4.6, 4.5, back up to around 5.2 again. I told everybody the reason that was such a good time to buy it is because anybody who would buy it during that, it took us like 10 weeks at 50 bucks a week. Not even 10 bucks or 50 bucks a week. Yeah, it was about 8 weeks. But we finally got it. I just wanted everybody to see that you can do it in segments as long as you buy in the proper levels. We're up 60% right now on Flare. We bought it at 8.5 on FOMO Fridays. And now we can see it's broken out of the breakout. That's the overextension's a breakout here now. Even if it comes back down here, it's already validated it. Now we need to get on top of 16.5. If it does, there's some major reversals happening here, like Flare 23 or 2.3, maybe up to 2.8. You're talking you could 3 or 4x this by the time it gets to where it's going. And it's not like we put a lot. We focus on 10,000 tokens and a lot of different things. Casper, we also did 10,000 on FOMO Friday. See, this is a good way for me to catch everybody up. Make sure you hit that like button. Only 84 likes tonight out of 142 viewers. If you really don't want to hit that like button and this information isn't worth it, please at least share this on social media. Or you can circumvent all of that and you can send a YouTube super chat or join Tom's Army. It would be a fantastic gift, you know, going into the holidays, you know. But I respect this audience and I expect this audience to pay it forward by hitting that like button. If you appreciate what I do, hit that like button and allow this beautiful community to grow. And if you have been watching my content and you haven't hit the subscribe button, please hit that subscribe button. I'm very flattered that we're over 19,000 subscribers at the end of the year. I can't even believe we made it this far in 1 year. Last year, you know, we had just towards one part of last year, we hit 10,000. And now all of a sudden this year we hit 20, almost 20, 19 plus. It's incredible. So please, if you want to see this expand, just share this. With Casper, we had 10,000 tokens. Remember we talked, we weren't buying it once it broke over this, and we cleared it well before it broke this structure. Now, if we get this confirmation, and it looks like we are, that's a Dragonfly Doji, and it's trying to trick us right now, but that's bullish more than it is bearish. I'm telling you right now. So this golden cross, it gets the 20-day support. You're looking for a little bit of a breakout here. We're going to come up to the 200 first, and that's what I think it's seeking at 3.6. Gets on top of that, and you're coming right back up to 397. And then ultimately, it's got a date with that 483. It's just a matter of, is this the right time? That's a big descending structure that it broke out of. And I'm willing to bet once it does break up, it's going to have a massive move. A lot of these do. Zill, we bought 22,222, not on FOMO Fridays, but when it was its part of the rotation. I was told everybody who watched, I don't charge for this. So if you're watching, rest assured you don't have to pay for any of this information. And I don't do paid promotions, advertisements, or sponsorships, so we get a free viewing experience here, and I love it. We got the falling channel here that Zill broke out of. We're just waiting for this extraordinary move up to 3.3. It's just, it is what it is. It is what it is. It got the confirmation. It has this inverted head and shoulders. It broke out of it. Now, boom. It's going to have a big boom here. Assuming that, for whatever reason, Bitcoin wouldn't fall off, we need this pump going into the 15th. Now that we know with Binance that the BUSD is being delisted on... in the USA, December 15th, other countries could be the 14th. If this is the pump and dump, we have to pay attention if this is going to be a pump and dump. And how we know is some of these upper targets. See this with VeChain? It broke out of here. If it were to come up here and get rejected again here, that's 1, 2, 3 times. That's how you would know. If you get rejected up at about 3 cents. Same thing with Zill. It's right around 3.3. If you see those get rejected there, we might have a problem. DGB's on top of its golden cross as well in the daily now, and it's bouncing off of it. And DGB, like I've been saying, has a massive move in store. If it can just continue this, we're within a continuation zone. Now we broke out of it. You break this resistance here, you're coming up past 1 cent. It just, there's nothing in between on some of these. They've been, look how far these are beaten down. So we talked about a lot. XDC, we've got 12,000, well, I just say 10,000, but 10,000 tokens. DGB right now is trying to, or XDC is trying to invalidate this bearish cross, and it's up right here. We've got to get over 508. If we look in the 4 hourly, it makes it a lot clearer. We're right up at the 200 day, and we're squeezed right now over the pattern structure, though. So now we're looking to at least bounce and use this as a new support at 497 and ultimately get over that 506. Once you do that, you've got a nice move up to around that 5.7 area. There's a lot of big moves. This is the overextension. You see how it did back here? And if it wanted to do it again, it could do it down here if it wanted to. So just so much stuff going on right now. It's incredible. We've got, and like Bitcoin being at 40,700 just since 7 o'clock, the last 3 hours, it's up another 700 points. I know it didn't close over 40,000, which kind of sucks. I wanted it to, but now it's giving itself some room. So now tomorrow, we're looking to close over 40,000. It could even move up a lot quicker, Julie.
I have a really cute video of a turtle I need to show you.
You can show me a video of a turtle. I love turtles. Just because I'm on here doesn't matter. You can always show me stuff. Please hit that like button while I'm watching the turtle.
He's excited.
He is excited.
It's so cute.
Was he eating?
Yeah, he was going towards the food.
Oh, yeah. That he was small like my turtle was when I used to have it. But yeah, now let's focus on XRP. I just went through a lot of stuff. Yeah, ATK, you get some rest. Seriously, you get some rest, and you let us know how you're feeling tomorrow. ATK got into an accident. He went off a cliff.
Oh no.
Yeah, he survived, everybody in the car, and he's sore now, but that just happened today.
Wow.
I know, it's incredibly tragic, but a blessing that everybody made it out. With XRP, the bottom line is we've got to get out of this falling channel. Once we get out of this falling channel, which as of right now, we need to just close over this 625 roughly. We'll just say 626. Then that opens the door to about right there. Actually, I want to delete that. I'll show you what the actual small move is. So once you hold this and it breaks up at around 626, you've got to break another 3.8%. And then once you get on top of that, it's a nice move up. First target from here is about 15.5%. Ultimate target's up here for about 30% from where we're at right now, just to see if we can kind of flip out of this short term, actually not short term, but a substantial bearish trend that started in January 2018. You get on top of that, we could start turning from a mini bear market rally, and if we can start pushing to $1.13, we can start reversing out of this bear market, but that's a long ways from here. That's almost a 2x or a 1x. But does everything seem like it's going in the standard operating procedure right now? We've got XRP over the very important levels here, but not the ultimate level, remember. It's not over the ultimate level yet. Not even close. We're just over the very minimal level where we had to hold at 33.15 to start opening up a run up here to 38.6. We need to get up and over. Just pay attention to this. We need to get up and over this 38.27. Nope, it's a little farther now when we come down because it's probably going to hit somewhere around here in time. So we got to get over that. Right around 38.6 billion or 38.9. So if you see us at 39 billion on top of this rising channel, this is another pattern that's just been going on. It seems like endlessly, but is he just?
He's just being annoying.
Okay. I was making sure.
He's fine.
Just being a typical boy. My boy is yelling a lot.
He's being a booger.
My trading view won't let me view 3 MA at a time, only 2. Huh. I don't know why that is. I wonder if you If you're looking for EMA lines and stuff, you know, there's like 7,000 different ones you can choose from. But yeah, I mean this is exactly what I'm looking at. Hopefully somebody can tell me, am I on basis? Do you feel like you understand what I'm saying here? Like even this rising channel, this is what you see in the market cap. This rising channel is a little bit lower, but the market cap's up higher. Oh, you mean two different, well, he was saying two EMA lines. It lets you use 3 indicators. Or no, only 2 now, but the EMA lines, it should let you use as many lines as you want. What do I think about Luna? Man, I haven't looked at Luna in ages. I honestly don't know. I haven't looked at it in so long. That's not one that tickles my fancy because I already know what they did with the, this is 2.0. But it's definitely, oh yeah, we did talk about Luna because we talked about how it had a chance to start moving up. But I wasn't interested in covering it just because, it's not that I'm not interested, but it doesn't fit my agenda. You know what I'm trying to do. This is one that gets you off of your game because what happens when this all comes upside down here? It's definitely on a breakout here, rounded the bottom, gets on top of 99 cents. It's gonna have a push up here, even without even looking at this. $1.61 would be on deck. But yeah, I'll maybe I'll look at that more, so to say. XRP at 6296, as Miss Vicky was saying, right around 63 cents. We're above where we need to be right now. And on the daily close, XRP closed at, I know it wasn't where I wanted it. It was a little bit lower than where I wanted, I believe. Yeah, it was at about 6228 roughly. We wanted to close this. It was good for yesterday's daily. This daily now, because we're on an inverted hammer, it looks like we're starting the same kind of pattern. That's bullish. These are both bullish candles. But we need to get over 626 and close now. Otherwise, it could squeeze itself. No squeezing here. What we want is that parabolic spike. Remember what we talked about with IOTA before it happened? It's the exact same thing starting. This thing, if you've seen it like this and then you looked at this, you'd be like, oh, well, that makes sense now. Because you've got the inverted, if you just look, you got this inversion, inverted head, inverted right shoulder, and then you pop up. It would make sense. It would complete this pattern, even if it was bearish. If it was bullish, you could break out. I wouldn't want all those to try and corrupt time. Just imagine it would be Bob. Good evening, True. Welcome in, my friend. Gold. I'll be interested what gold does tomorrow. Like the mining stocks, they're so far behind. Gold's literally at 2,088. That's all-time highs. And look at that. That's I would say that's about to qualify for an inverted hammer. I'd say it's pretty much there. Gold did exactly what it was supposed to. It reached that entire target. Now, if gold wants to take the extremely bullish route, we can continue up just a little bit instead of having to retest. Remember? This is option 2 if we can stay up here and then bounce off of this. Right? Instead of having to correct all the way back down to the uptrending support. That's what we want. Because then you have a floor. Now you're in, like, what's so crazy about this? If anybody's here, we're in discovery. If XRP is above 2,000, or gold's above 2,082, it's in discovery. It's never been this high. We cleared that. We're at all-time highs for gold. And silver's still 50% away from all-time highs. Mining stocks are 100% move away from their all-time highs. The unexpected rally to N23. Remember, we talked about this so often. It's the same reason why I wasn't willing to let B2 gold slide by the wayside, and I bought it at 298. Now all of a sudden here it's up to 341. And it's at still a 4.4% dividend, or 4.36, so it's still very healthy. It usually settles, like I said, around 3.94%. Unless it's down, then it can get up to 6%. But man, Something big's happening. If the US dollar does continue to break down, if this is its rejection here, and this dot cross confirms, which it's starting to right now, this is going to be a massive drop. I mean, you're talking about 101, 100 handle, all the way down to the pattern formation. If you get rejected up here, now you got to come back down to the uptrending support to see if the pattern's even valid. And that's all the way down at 97.3 to 1. That's 97.3. That's under a 1-to-1 for the dollar in pairing. Oh, yeah. Definitely inflation war, Miss Vicky. Broken dollar. XRP's at 6303. XLM's at 12313. DGB, I mean, it's stuck at 799, but eventually it's going to get its rail. I mean, look at all of this. Ethereum Classic. Why is Ethereum Classic on here? It always takes Ethereum off. That's so funny. I'd rather see Ethereum so that we can see, you know, what the manipulators are up to, because they love Ethereum and Bitcoin so much. Which makes me hate it even more. But like, everybody's always like, do you own any Bitcoin? I'm like, do you really have to ask that, please? Even if Bitcoin's doing good, I'm looking at the altcoins down the road that, you know, if you spend all that money in Bitcoin, this for me. Some people have a lot more money than me. I'm not by any means rich. But for my money, I like to find the targets that haven't quite hit their spot yet. Bitcoin's already hit its mark. I'm looking at the fact if Bitcoin goes up to 100,000, you know, you could just over 1x it, maybe 1.25. But if Bitcoin goes to 100,000, some of these altcoins, if you find the right one, are going to 50, 100x. Sure, I'd love to double my money, but what if I 50x it? Like, that's some serious stuff. There's a serious altcoin season building up here. The problem is Bitcoin won't give up its dominance. This is the only problem. Eventually, this gives way, but Bitcoin, again, there's a 68% chance that it broke up to about 57.37. That doesn't mean it's just going to go there. There's still a 32% chance that it could break down. But right now, the dominance chart is looking good. You know, eventually it's going to break. Eventually it's going to break. Just not right now, because it's got a golden cross here in the weekly, which, you know what that means. It's going up to probably that 57. That just means Bitcoin might have this unbelievable rally up, and then all of a sudden, hello, altcoin season. If this gets up to 50,000 somehow with this rally, oh my God. We're going to have an unexpected late Christmas here. Like, seriously. And if for anybody who buys gold and silver with me with precious metals, you're going to have a real nice 24. I told you, gold and silver and precious metals, they're each other's, or gold and silver, precious metals, and crypto are their best friends. They always tell you they're enemies, they're actually allies in disguise. Anything that is money universally is always an ally. No, it is not, Julie. Shiba. 0.58%. We've talked about Shiba on here. We've talked about Shiba. That was when we were supposed to buy on FOMO Fridays, but I only ended up buying $100 worth because I didn't know how much to buy. So, and we were buying it in this little rotation. No, not there. Back farther. Actually, no, September, August. No, it was about that time, somewhere in here. Now, this is the breakout attempt for Shiba. If Shiba breaks over this descending triangle and you hold this, right now Shiba's looking for a nice hold at about, you know, a nice sign of strength would be to get up to that 9 level. Right now it's at 8, 9, 6, 7. Just get up to that 9 level and hold. I don't know. I don't have Rune on here. Sorry, Jorge. These are just ones I have on here. He just happened to mention one that I always watch. It's a long time coming, too. Dogecoin, pretty similar. It's getting ready. It's actually popping out a little bit. Julie and I own this. She did a fantastic job years ago. And now, due to her, you know, we're doing just fine with those. She got to sell it, make like 9,000%. And then get it back. At like, I bought it back for at 5 cents, somewhere around there. And it's still moving up pretty nicely. It's up to 8.7. It was up to 8.7. And it's actually broke out of this descending formation. You had another formation up here, but I didn't redo it. Because it could have been a bear flag somebody could have put it in, but I decided not to do that. These I considered overextensions in a weekly zone. So now it's bounced off of the 725. Sky's the limit. Doge bounces so heavy, 11 cents. We don't know. Could have come all the way back up here to 15. Anybody's guess. Doge likes to do it, though. And even on a retest failure, I mean, this thing could pop. I think a lot of these could pop. That's the thing. Like, a lot of this could. It's crazy. It's crazy where we're at. That's why it's like, are we going into an ultimate pump and dump with what's going to happen on December 15th? Let's enjoy it for the next 12 days is what I'm saying. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. I think I've pretty much covered everything. Please, if you appreciate what I do, I'm not exactly even just at this moment, but hit that subscribe button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button and share this on social media. If you really appreciate my work and you want to pay it forward, you can always join Tom's Army or send a YouTube super chat. If you're looking to trade XRP, your favorite crypto, video description below. The exchanges that I use that have the lowest spot fees, and you can futures and spot trade in the USA especially. You know, it's important because that's where I live. But also worldwide with the exchanges that there's only 2 of them though. So right now it's 2 of them that you can get those. But 24 is probably going to bring its own challenges. So we'll see what happens. Oh, you're all welcome. Tom, what do you know about AIOZ network? I bought it at 17 and it went up to 20. Well, I have no idea. I don't even know what AIOZ is. I'm sorry. AIOZ. I'm actually interested to even see what this is. I don't even know what that is. Holy shit. Well, that looks like a correction is shortly maybe coming. Eventually, this is going to have to correct back down. Maybe not yet. Eventually, it's going to correct back down, but this thing, if this breaks out of this, that's a pretty big bull fight, and that volume's exploding. The only thing is at some point, it's going to have to validate this, and there's no getting around it. You can look at the exponential moving averages and look at it in a daily sense, or you can just look at it like this and just draw your own uptrend. It doesn't really matter how you do it. You can get, but at some point, it's going to have to confirm this. And whether it goes up another level and it tries to do that, and then sometimes what happens, and don't get confused if it happens, and we'll just use the points it gives us. Sometimes it does do this, and then eventually it'll end up using the pattern. You'll end up being like, oh, well, because it did this, came around, boom. Sometimes it does do this, and then it'll start using this, you know, and I'm sure everybody's seen these patterns. So you would rather it get down here as soon as possible, or at least retest and then bounce out, because this is that could be a nice bull flag. So if it stays up here, it could just bounce out right away. But if it starts rotating down, you know it's got to retest somewhere. That's just what I see. But it doesn't look bad right now. This very well could have another well, it's probably got another leg up. It's just if it does break down in a bad way, it could break down hard. I mean, it's overextended right now. It's starting to get rejected, possibly on the 2-hour, I would say. It's in between right now. So you could just say, all right, I'm going to ride with this. But if it, well, no, because you can't, because you bought it at a different level. But if it breaks that uptrending support, that's the, this is where it could get slippery. If you lose 16.4, let's just say. Because then you could have a massive correction of like 40%. And that would still be perfectly fine. It really would. It would be perfectly fine. But again, this could be a bull flag too, remember? And then I'm moving on. This could be a bull flag though, see? And then if it breaks up, boom. You're welcome, Mel. I'm glad I could help. XRP is king, they say. Hey, XRP plays a big role in this whole thing. If its only role was to get clarity for crypto, it's doing its job. But hopefully that cleared everything up. I think I'm going to leave it at that. I think I made a good impression tonight. I think we had a great audience. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Just remember when you're watching, going into the early morning hours, we want XRP over 626 today. That's our goal. Our friend XRP just needs to hold 626. We would really like to show some strength and be over 63 cents today. I'll be honest. You want to show even more strength, you close over 634, but that might be asking a lot. And if you want to show ultimate strength, somehow you get up here and get over that 648, and let's move on. So let's let this inverted head and shoulders play out. Rounding in the bottom looks fantastic. You know, when it's nice, stay positive. Don't let your emotions get to you. And yeah, thank you all so much. Oh, you're welcome, Mel. I'm glad I could surprise you. See, yeah, I'm full of surprises. Have a good night, everybody. Stay blessed.